Hey, cousins, I'm so excited to teach you what I have to teach you today. My name is Diana Boley, and I am the owner of 7 Minute Family History. And what you're going to learn today is you're going to learn a lesson that you can teach as a fifth Sunday lesson. Now, this lesson, I'll give you tips and I'll give you tricks, and I'm super excited to be able to share this with you so that you can share it with your wards. So, here's a couple tips for the lesson. First of all, this lesson is geared for all ages. Now, you can use it as a fifth Sunday, you can use it to teach someone in their home, you can use it as a Relief Society lesson or a Wednesday mutual lesson. It's really, really versatile for as many people as you want to teach it to, and you can teach it to individuals too. So it's for all ages. Second, share personal stories. Now, I'll share some stories in here while I'm teaching that you'll be able to look at and say, oh, okay, that's a good story that I can share, which you can use my stories. But you might want to share your own personal stories too. The third thing is phones are encouraged during this. Now, if you're at someone's house, maybe you teach them on their computer instead. But when you're in a big group, totally have people open their phones when you tell them to, not before. Next, use the slides. Now, I put a lot of work and effort into these slides and a lot of inspiration, to be perfectly honest. So I would encourage you to use them. Next, make it fun. Now, a lot of people, when they teach family history, honestly, I love family history, and a lot of people teach it boring. And I don't want you guys to teach it boring. I want you guys to teach it fun. Because if we make it fun as teachers, then people will be more excited about it. So stay enthusiastic and show your passion for family history to your students. Next is distribute the handouts towards the end. And the reason why is because, yeah, people can follow along with the handout, but then they might be paying more attention to the handout instead of paying attention to you. So that's what I would recommend. But if you hand them out at the beginning, don't worry about it. Okay, ready for your lesson? So you're going to show the first slide, which is the slide of the tree, and have that on as people are coming in and as people are getting there before the lesson, when people say a prayer, whatever you do. And then when you start, you're going to say, do you sometimes feel like this? And you're going to show this picture and you're going to say, do you sometimes feel like this? Like, we're all stressed. The world is going crazy and there's a lot of stuff going on in our society and in our homes and outside of our homes, and things are just crazy. Do you feel this way? Well, think about, what do you need right now? Do you need more peace, more love, more joy? A feeling more of that you're making a difference, more inspiration and creative ideas. What else do you need in your life right now? Now, what if I had a magic recipe to help with all of these and even more? Would you be interested? Hang on, my slides aren't working. Okay, and this recipe is only 5 words, and it can be done in less than 7 minutes a day. Would you be interested? This is kind of just piquing their interest. Okay, you ready? You can even do a drum roll here if you wanted to. Temple and family history work. Now, the reason why this is the answer to all of that is, think about what you need right now. Wendy Watson Nilsson said, when we show the Lord that we are serious about helping our ancestors, the heavens will open and we receive all that we need. Now, do you need those things right now? Think about it. Temple and family history work is the solution. Well, studies show there are 3 main reasons why people avoid doing their family history. What do you think they are? And really ask the question in your class, what do you think they are? So then, once people answer for a little bit, say the 3 main reasons are: 1, it's confusing to them. 2, they think it will take too much time. 3, they don't know where to start. So where do you fall in that? You can ask your people that. Where do you fall in that? Which one of those is you? Okay, what if, with this magic recipe I'm going to show you, I could make it easy to understand, teach you how to incorporate it into your daily routine and show you where to start. Would you be a little more interested? And would you maybe do it? Okay, well, welcome to the Fast Track Family Tree Method. This approach will help make temple and family history work easy and simple to do. By the end of this lesson, by the end of our 1 hour or 50 minutes, depending on what you're teaching it, you will know exactly how to make FAMILY history a part of your busy life. Okay, the first thing in our focus in our family tree is focus on yourself. Now, what does that mean? I want you to imagine a chain. Each link is a person in your family. Your ancestors go one way and they're way far behind you, and your descendants go the other way and they're way ahead of you. You are the welding link right in the middle. And it talks about that in D&C 128:18. So your family history starts with you. You are the middle of that. So what can you do to focus on yourself? Here's a list of some ideas. And honestly, when you're teaching the lesson, you can discuss these if you want to and expound on them as much as you want to. First of all, keep a journal of any kind. Now, people have so many different types of journals. And in this video, I'll include some underneath if you wanted to look at them and some links to some great journals that I would recommend. So keep a journal of any kind. This could be a weekly journal, a gratitude journal, a travel journal, a spiritual journal, a daily journal. There are hundreds and hundreds of different ways that people can journal and that people want to journal. You really, when you're teaching this lesson, could talk about journaling and focusing on yourself for 10, 15 minutes of the lesson. So another idea is to scrapbook. Now, a lot of people think they have to scrapbook like we did back in the 90s, and that is that a lot of it takes a lot of time. But people can do digital scrapbooking now, and it doesn't take so much time. The next is write your personal history. Now, a lot of people are not doing this. I'm sorry. If you're watching the video, I have something in my eye and it is bothering me. So, write your personal history. And it doesn't have to be a huge, lengthy 20, 40, 50, 70, 100 page history. Just write some funny stories down. Include your trials and your successes, spiritual experiences, anything like that that you want people to know about you and that you want to pass on to your future generations. You could even record audio memories or record your life history. You could compile a memory box of records. Now, this could be something that you're just, as you're going about your day, you can throw stuff into it. Your birth certificate, marriage certificate, your cards that you've received, anything that is like that. I actually have a couple of these. And when I think that something is great that my kids have done, I throw it into it. Next is label your photos. Now, this is something you can do. There's a lot of good, if you have your photos on the cloud, there's a lot of ways that you can label those photos with certain people, kind of like Facebook tagging, but you could do it on the cloud instead with all of your photos. And it's really cool because usually it'll figure out who's who and start to decipher it, even with baby pictures compared to adult pictures. Another idea is to vlog. Now, for those that maybe don't know what this is video blogging, excuse me. So you could create a vlog of your history. So videotape yourself saying your personal history. Whatever it is, do something to focus on yourself. So next is this is one more thing. Spencer W. Kimball said, I promise you that if you will keep your journals and records, they will indeed be a source of great inspiration to your families. Now, I want you to think about that really quick. If we didn't have the journals of the pioneers or have any of their stories, we wouldn't know anything about them. We wouldn't have the incredible stories that get passed down for generations after generations. So make sure to do that. The A in the fast track of your family tree is access ordinances ready. Now, if you've never done this before, ordinances ready, you're going to find a name using ordinances ready. Find a name to take to the temple. You're going to open the family search tree app. Now, what I want you to do if you're teaching this as a lesson, literally go to your phone and have everybody in the room open the family tree app right now and have them open it and have them start getting on it. Now, you'll have some people that probably won't have access to their family tree and they might not remember their username or password. So at this point, what I would say is if you don't have access to this and you can't get into it on your phone, go sit by somebody who does. Or someone who does have it, go sit by somebody who doesn't have it so that people can look at it together and share it together. I live in a neighborhood where there's a lot of elderly people, and a lot of them don't bring their phones to the church, and some of them don't know how to open the family tree app. So when I teach this lesson, I always have them sit next to somebody that's in the younger generation that knows how to do that. So you're going to open the app, and then this is on a Android. These images are on an Apple phone. It'll look a little bit different. So you're going to click Temple. Now you're going to go to the top where there's they call it a hamburger, and it's at the top. It's like 3 little lines that are by each other, and you're going to click on that, and then you're going to click Temple. And at the bottom of that, you're going to click Ordinances Ready. Now what this does is it pulls from different sources. Pulls from your names that you've submitted, pulls from family names. If you're in a family group, it pulls from those. It pulls from people in your ward or in your stake or people that have submitted it to the temple. So there's all kinds of places these names come from. And sometimes you're not related to them. Now, when I was teaching this lesson the first time, I had everybody open up their app and have them do this and was teaching them how to do it. And I was so excited about it. And one of my dear friends, Nanette is her name, she has never, ever been able to take a name to the temple because so much of her work has been done. Lots of pioneer ancestors and things like that. And she saw this and she was able to take 2 family names to the temple. She was so excited to tell me the next day that she got 2 names and that she had that and that she had never done that before. So this is the next, anyway. Okay, so then after you click on ordinances ready, you're going to select the ordinance to reserve baptism, confirmation, initiatory endowment, sealing to parents, sealing to spouse, whatever you want to do. And then go to the temple often. Now, when you go to the temple, you're going to take those names. If you have not printed it out yet and you don't have a printer that works at your house, you can actually go to the temple, show them your phone. So yes, bring your phone into the temple and then have this app open and there'll be a little QR code. They can teach you how to find it and you can quickly have them print it for you at the temple. I've done it before because my printer stopped working and I was no longer able to. And I thought, I'm going to just see how this works. And you guys, it totally does work. Okay, so our next one is Richard G. Scott said, I can think of no greater no greater protection from the influence of the adversary in your life than when you do temple and family history work. Isn't that amazing? I love, love, love that quote. So next on our fast track is memories. Now, again, have your people keep their family tree open and they're going to look at it and they're going to look at their family tree part. So they should be right in the middle in the spot that I'm pointing out where I'm at. And then what they're going to do is they're going to select an ancestor with a photo from the tree. So this ancestor could be any of them, but preferably one with a photo. And they're going to click on that photo to view them. So pick somebody from those first 4 or 5 generations with a photo, and then they're going to they're going to scroll across to memories. And what this is this is things that people have submitted about that person. Now, it may have been the person that's looking at the phone that has submitted that, but they may have picked somebody else that they've never looked at that ancestor before. So then this is where it gets exciting. Are you ready? 7 minutes, you guys. look at one photo and read one story. Now, if you have your phone with you, I'm going to go back. I want you to pull up your family tree and look at that and pick someone with a picture and then scroll to memories. You can pause this movie if you want to. And then look at one photo and read one story. That's all you have to do. Now, the reason why this is so simple is because people think, like I talked about at the beginning, that you have to do lots of genealogy. They think you have to go all the way back to 1600 and try to be a professional researcher and research from 1600 on, because that's the only place where they can find that their tree hasn't been filled in yet, especially those with pioneer ancestors. But this makes it super, super simple. Now, when I started doing family history, I'm going to tell you a little story that my grandma told me a story about an ancestor, and he only had one arm and he pulled a handcart across the plains. And you guys, I was 11 years old. I don't remember very much more of my grandma because she passed away when I was 12. But in that instant, she instilled the spirit of Elijah in me. And I got so excited about it. I wanted to learn everything I could about this person and who he was and all these things. But it was the story that brought me in. And honestly, I got C's and D's in my history classes. I hated history. It was my worst subject because I can't remember dates and places and wars and all those things. I can't remember them. But if you tell me my ancestor was there, oh my gosh, tell me all about it. I'm so excited about it. So you're just going to have them read a story and look at a photo because it's the stories that will turn their hearts to their fathers. So our next one is, this is me, my quote, "The heart of family history work is the stories that bring our ancestors to life. It's learning about their lives and discovering how their experiences shaped ours, because their stuff is what comes into us. Genealogy research will naturally follow. The research that people think they have to do for family history that's going to take so long, literally, it can take hours and hours and hours, doesn't have to be what people are starting out doing. I'm sure none of you guys that are on here knew what you were doing when you first opened up Family Search app or when you first looked at a genealogy chart. Someone had to teach you. So this is what we're doing, is we're just teaching them. This is Henry Eyring quote. He said, "Learn the stories about their lives. Those you never met in life will become friends you love. Your heart will be bound to theirs forever." Now, this is my cute little grandma that told me the story about the ancestor who only had one arm and he pulled the handcart across the plains. And as I have read her histories, I have laughed. In fact, today, my mom and sister and I, we were laughing at some of her stories that so hard that our sides were hurting. We were laughing so hard at the funny things that she wrote down and the reality of what she lived. And that is what brings people's hearts to it and turns their hearts. So, and it doesn't have to be the funny stories. Like, we can talk about the struggles or the hardships that she went through. It's just telling those stories that bring our hearts to where they need to be. So our next one on Fast Track Family Tree is implement again. You guys ready for this? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Wendy Watson Nielsen invited us to make a sacrifice of time to the Lord by increasing the time you spend doing temple and family history work, and then watch what happens. So when we increase our time doing it, we can multiply our time and we can have all kinds of things happen. And I'm going to tell you a story about that. She challenged us to do family history and temple work for 21 days in a row. Now, I love family history and temple work, and 21 days in a row is a lot of time for me. I tried it 2 times. And when I was teaching family history, I challenged my students to do it and I challenged myself to do it. And one of the times, I only got 12 days done in a row. And then I got busy because you guys, we are busy. And then the second time I did it, I think I got maybe 14 or 15 days. Oh my gosh, I was so busy. I didn't do it all. And I had to tell my class, I'm sorry, you guys, I didn't finish the challenge. How are you guys doing? And they were all like, yeah, we got maybe today 2 or 3. But what I'm going to teach you is an easy way to have your ward members do that family history challenge. Now, here, let me show you what it is, and then I'll tell you my story about me doing it and how Heavenly Father taught this to me. Okay, how can you easily implement a 21-day challenge? As our ancestors would say, wash, rinse, repeat. Start the process over again with another person. Pick one ancestor a day. Now, the process I'm talking about, let me go back here, is this. Look at one photo and read one story. Wash, rinse, repeat. Continue doing each of the ancestors that for them. So you can start with your 2 parents. Look at one story and read a story and look at a photo. And then you do your mom and then do your dad. And then do your 4 grandparents. Do one each day. And then do your 8 great grandparents. And then your 16 great 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 grandparents. And guess what? You've done 30 people. And it's taken you 30 days. And guess what? It's only taking you less than 7 minutes. Isn't that amazing? Oh my gosh. Okay, so my story when I started doing this is I was with some friends and we were talking in the car and we were driving and I thought, what can I talk to them about that I would be interested in that they probably would be interested in too? And the thought came to me, talk to them about the 21-day family history challenge. And I totally feel like now that Heavenly Father inspired me that day. So, what happened is I said, "Have you guys heard of the 21-day family history challenge?" They were like, "No, we haven't. What is this?" So I told them about Wendy Watson Nelson's quote and how it blesses us. She has told us it will bless us in every aspect of our lives. And um so the one of the ladies said, "We should totally do that." Now that was on a Saturday. And Monday, I knew we were moving and Monday we were going to start packing our house. And I thought in my mind, oh my gosh, how am I going to start this? Because that's going to take up so much of my time because I'm thinking I have to research, right? Well, there's no way I have time to pack my house, paint, carpet, get my house ready up for sale and find a new house and do family history all at the same time. And I'm working. How in the world am I going to, and I'm a mom and taking kids where they need to be and dinner, all the things have to happen every day. So I thought, okay, if I just do 5 minutes right before bed, check. And it became this checkbox that I was going to check off. So the next day, Sunday, my niece texts me and she says, Diana, do you have any pictures of your grandma and grandpa when they were kids? And I was like, yes, I do. Because remember back when we talked about doing personal history, I've labeled all my people in my cloud on Google, on my Google Photos. And so I have pictures of my grandparents when they're kids, and I was easily able to find them in less than 5 minutes. Less than 7 minutes, you guys. So I found pictures and I downloaded them and I sent them to her. And I was like, oh, family history done for the day. Check. So then I thought, if I'm going to do 21 days of family history, I think I want to include my mom and my dad and my brothers and sisters in this. And then they will also get the blessings of doing 21 days of family history without um, having to search up all the things and having to research and do everything. So I sent pictures of my grandma to my family that day on Sunday. And I thought, if I send pictures of grandma one day and grandpa the next day, check, check. I have 2 days of family history done. So then the next day, Tuesday, I was like, if I do that, then I can do great great grandma on Tuesday and send them some pictures of her. So it became this thing that I would just pick one person every single day and read a little bit about them, send my family less than about a paragraph because it had to be small enough for a small text for them to read, and send them a picture. That was it. So then I got to about day 18 or 19, and the Lord humbled me, and he said, Diana, I felt very strongly him speak right directly to my heart. And he said, Diana, if you keep doing this, everything will work out just fine for your house. And I thought, okay, if you're going to promise me that, then I will continue to do my family history every day. So there were some days I felt like the Lord multiplied my time during this time, during those 21 days. And we painted our house, we recarpeted most of it, and we were able to get everything packed that we needed to in 3 weeks. The entire house, and we were ready to sell it in 3 weeks. It was the most mind-blowing thing because the Lord was blessing me because I was doing the family history. So then, after about day 21, when he told me that, I kept going and going and going and going. By the time we sold our house and moved into the new house, I had done 56 days straight of family history by looking at one person every day. And sometimes I would go back and I'd look at another thing that someone else, that another person had, or something like that. But it was amazing and mind-boggling at how the Lord just blessed our family with that. So there you go. Wash, rinse, repeat, 30 days. You ready for the next one? Once you finish your direct ancestors, this is where it gets good. Move on to your great aunts, great uncles, and their cousins and your cousins. Keep going until you looked at all the people in the 4 generations, and you'll have over 100 people to learn about. So once you get back to those great great grandparents, you start coming forward those 4 generations with all the people, all their cousins and aunts and uncles and everybody. While I was doing this, I found out that one of my dad's great uncles my grandpa's cousin, had been a prisoner of war during World War I. And I asked my dad, did you know that he was a prisoner of war? And my dad's like, no, I had no idea. So it's amazing to learn these stories about these people because they just want them told. Now imagine the blessings of 100 days of temple and family history work. Isn't that awesome? Okay, next. L in our family is load photos and stories. Now this means adding your own memories to Family Search. You can write a story, add a photo, record audio, add a document, whatever you want to do. And don't forget to get information from your living relatives to add to Family Search too. It doesn't have to be very long. You could do it in less than 7 minutes. If you're waiting in the carpool lane, you just pull out your phone and you start adding your kids' pictures to Family Search, or adding your parents' pictures to Family Search. Or if you're waiting for somebody and they're late for a lunch date, sit and add pictures to Family Search, or even record a little audio of a funny story. Then add them to Family Search. Okay, so that's our M. And if you want to, when you're teaching this lesson, you can actually have people load a photo or a story right there and teach them how to do it. Okay, the Y for family tree is your family tree. Now, what does that mean? When you're teaching this lesson, you're going to do relatives around me and find out who is related to who. You're going to show this slide and say, okay, you guys, we're going to do relatives around me. Now, if you're on iOS, you do the 3 dots at the bottom. If you're on Pedigree or on Android, you do the little hamburger at the top. Click on that and then find where it says relatives around me. And then you're going to scan for friends to see who in your ward or in that group you can find that's in your family tree together. And this is so fun to do the last 5-8 minutes of class because people get so excited. When I did this in my ward, the first time I taught this lesson, one of the sisters who had never, ever, Arlene told me, I have never, ever been able to find someone and find their name, find a relative around me in Family Search. It just doesn't happen. Her husband, Sid, has them all the time, but Arlene doesn't. So when we did this lesson, Arlene was able to find people that she was related to. And chances are people are related to somebody in that ward. Not every time, but most of the time they are. Okay, you ready for this? As I told you at the beginning, I would make family history easy to understand, teach you how to incorporate it into your daily routine, and show you where to start. What do you guys think? Did I accomplish what I promised? I think I did. So, more ways. What next? More ways to follow me. And for more ideas, go to my website, family history, 7minutefamilyhistory.com. Or you can follow me on Instagram, YouTube, or Facebook. So, with that, I am, anyway, I'm done with my lesson. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I should teach you. If there is, anyway. So what next? For more ideas, follow me on 7 Minute Family History. You can go to my website, 7minutefamilyhistory.com. And there you can find a sign up for my email list where I send out tips and tricks and other simple ways to do your family history. You can also follow me on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube and find all kinds of ideas there too. Because I just like to share simple, sweet ideas that people can do to know how to do their family history and make it easy. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. If you guys do this lesson, I would love for you to share it with me. So you can tag me in social media, you can email me and let me know how it went. I'm just super, super excited for you guys to do this with your people too, because family history is just so important and it's so exciting to see everything that we can do with it. Anyway, thanks for watching and have a great day, cousins. Good luck with this lesson. Bye.